Assalamualaikum again to the whole world. Okay, today I'm going to show some simpler miracles inside the Quran. It's regarding chapter 16, the B. We know today that the chromosome number of male bees 16 and the female is 32. The male drone bees will have exactly 16 chromosome, and the female queen or worker bees will have 32. This is established facts. That means it shouldn't change anymore. Maybe in a couple of million years, maybe. But anyway, so we know that chapter 16 also happens to be chapter the B. It makes sense because the only word B of the Quran is also inside this chapter. So it makes sense that this chapter is named chapter the B because the only word B of the Quran is also located inside chapter 16. So there are already a lot of numerical miracle of the chromosome of number of B inside chapter 16, the B itself, such as if we go to the word B itself, which is located inside verse number 68. So this verse will have exactly 16 different letters. Hopefully you can see my cursor. So this verse will have exactly 16 different type of Arabic letters, and also if from the very start of this verse right until the very end of this only word B of the Quran, which is inside this verse, the total letters shall also be exactly 16. So it's very interesting. I mean this word B of the Quran, it could have been anywhere. It could have been here, it could have been the 70 letter, 90 letter, but it decided to be exactly precisely 16. Okay, the chapter is already 16, and then the letter up to the very end of the word B is also 16, and also the different letter inside from this verse is also exactly 16 different type of letter. Okay, for a normal brain this should be enough, but of course there are many more. So another nice interesting thing is inside chapter 16, the B itself, there is one verse which is verse number 19, and this verse has a value of exactly 1632. Okay, 1632, the 2 chromosome number of the B. Okay, I mean among all the 114 chapters of the Quran, this should be the only verse of the Quran with a value of 1632. Okay, if we are to include the count of letter Hamzah, then it should be the only verse of the Quran with a value of 1632. This verse itself is perfect. Even if we use the Imla'i version where they will include extra alif for certain word, it will still be 1632. Okay, or maybe you use the Warsh Quran or whatever, it will still be 1632. I mean, this should be the only verse of the Quran with value of 162, even if it's not. Okay, because if you don't include the count of letter Hamzah like the oldest Quran, there is another verse with 162, but nowadays almost all the Quran we include Hamzah. But anyway, it's still miraculous, but that a verse with a value of 1632 happens to be inside chapter 16 too. And for those who feel that number 19 is also miraculous, it is actually inside verse 19 of chapter 16 also. So this is we shall only say this is the only verse of the Quran with a value of 1632. It turned out that if we are to search for words of the Quran with value of 1632, there is one word inside the Quran with a value of 1632. So I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to go to the left. I'm going to select word. Hopefully you can see the cursor. I'm going to select. I'm going to highlight it, make it round so that you can see. So I'm going to select word. I already placed 1632 the value. So I'm going to search in the entire Quran for the word with value of 1632. So there is only one word with a value of 1632. Is actually al-akhdar, or green in a sense, green plants all, and we know that bee has connection with trees and plants. Okay, anyway, beside it is actually the word tree itself, ash-shajarah. Okay, so this is actually at chapter 36 verse 80. Chapter 36 Yasin verse 80. So this should be the only word with a value of 1632. Remember, 1632 is very interesting because it is the chromosome number of the male and female, 60 and 32. So exactly beside it is the word ash-shajarah or tree. Now if you look closely at this word ash-shajarah, okay, there are alif, lam, shim, jim, ra. The only other word with this exact spelling, the only other word in the Quran with this exact spelling of ash-shajarah, ash-shajari or tree, okay, meanings with the letter exact alif, lam, shim, jim, ra. Okay, let me search for the exact word ash-shajarah in the Quran. So let us search it. So this is okay, I'm going to have to put a whole word, that means whole exact word. So there's only two. So the first one we already know is at chapter 36, which is exactly beside a word with tree, word green, that means green tree. So this word green has a value of 1632. This word ash-shajari tree has there is another one, the only another one in the entire Quran, and this is the one. It is actually at the only verse of the Quran with the word bee also. Okay, so the only other word ash-shajari or tree is located at the bee verse itself. Okay, so this is the word bee, chapter 16. This is the word bee at chapter 16, and the word ash-shajarah. Why does this one keep on changing? I don't know why. So this is the only word B of the Quran, and there's also the word ash-shajari tree. Okay, so we know the only other word ash-shajari or tree is also at chapter 36 Yasin verse 80, and it is exactly beside a word with the only word of the Quran with a value of 16322. Okay, this is just one. There's so many more miracles in the Quran. Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.